Imagine a world of gilded columns stretching right up to a painted sky, where sunlight filters through this ancient stone, and, whispered intrigues are just part of the air you breathe.
Like the desert wind almost.
Right.
A place humming with tradition, divinity, and this immense power that could lift you up or just utterly destroy you.
Exactly. And today, we're diving right into that world. We're stepping into the sandals, so to speak, of an ancient Egyptian queen.
We're really tracing her journey from that first shock, the royal summons, through the relentless daily dance of palace politics.
All the way to her preparations for legacy, which were, frankly, intricate and often sound pretty desperate.
Yeah, they really do. Our source material for this, it's this rich narrative exploration. It puts you, the listener, right into her perspective.
Which is a great way to do it, I think. It covers everything: coronation, daily rituals, the huge political hurdles, even her efforts to, secure her spot in the afterlife.
So as we unpack all this, we really want you to try and step into her world with us. Feel the forces that shaped her existence.
Our mission really is to cut through some of those, romanticized ideas about ancient Egypt, give you a shortcut maybe to understanding the reality of queenship.
Which was complex, high stakes.
Yeah.
Definitely not a fairy tale. We're aiming for those aha moments about power survival, what it really took back then.
Yeah, it's not just about the gold and the perfume. It's about this constant, lifelong game of survival.
Absolutely. So we're going deep into what it meant to be the great royal wife of the two lands.
And believe me, it's way more intricate, more demanding than you probably imagine. So settle in.
Let's explore these themes. Ambition, vulnerability, legacy. They feel pretty universal, even in this ancient context.
Okay, let's get started. Part 1, the ascent, coronation, and those first stark realities.
Right. The source just throws you in, doesn't it? You're this noble daughter in ancient Egypt, sun-drenched stone, the Nile, the scent of blue lotus, all that.
And your life is about to be sealed. Kohl-lined eyes, a lapis lazuli crown. You're going to be queen of Egypt, consort to a living god.
But what the source just nails right from the start is that this isn't a fairy tale. Not at all.
No, it's sudden. It's predetermined destiny, sure, but it's absolutely loaded with pressure.
And that tension is palpable, isn't it? Between the outward honor, this huge thing, and the inner dread.
It really is. The source describes the messenger arriving, high priest's messenger, sealed papyrus scroll, and your life just starts spinning.
Your father, maybe he hoped for it, but the source says he nearly choked on his pomegranate wine.
Yeah. And your mother. Tears, part pride, part, dread.
And you, the queen-to-be, you smile, because you have to.
But inside, that knot twisting beneath your ribs, perfumed oils aren't going to soothe that.
And that knot isn't just nerves, is it? It's understanding, instantly. This honor is a political trap.
Why do you think highlighting that dread right at the beginning is so key?
Because it sets the theme for her whole life. That dichotomy, public role, private reality, the aha, is that her life becomes strategic before the crown even touches her head.
It's a game of survival from minute one.
Exactly. Every smile, every nod, it's hiding a calculation. It tells us immediately, this isn't passive royalty. This is a woman walking into danger, fully aware.
So the journey begins. A gilded litter, pharaoh's soldiers carrying you, linen robes trailing.
Like a river of light, the source says.
Yeah. And Thebes is packed. Onlookers shouting your name, though most don't even know your face yet. Just a new queen is coming.
And, the source points out, many of those onlookers probably understood deep down that queens don't always stay queens for long.
That's a chilling thought.
This whole spectacle, it's not just a party. It's a calculated display of power, presenting you to the people.
Every shout, every glance, it's measuring public perception.
Which is vital later on, right? For survival in that treacherous court. It's an unveiling, a statement of strength, continuity.
Then the moment arrives. The great temple of Karnak, those colossal columns, ancient cedar trunks practically, etched with history.
The air humming with incense, anticipation.
Your litter is lowered, and you feel that first real flutter of fear. The priest's voice echoes, once you pass through, there is no turning back.
Oof, heavy.
So this is where it gets really interesting. What actually happens inside Karnak during the coronation ritual itself?
The source goes into incredible detail, and it emphasizes the symbolism. Every single step.
Like what?
Well, first, you're washed in sacred Nile water, drawn at dawn, then anointed with special oils, secret recipes known only to the temple elite.
Not just for beauty, right? Spiritual protection too.
Exactly. Then the pole, blended with malachite for that green sheen. But it's not just makeup. It shields your eyes from the sun, yes, but also from rivals' gazes.
To cover watchful gaze.
Precisely. Lips stained with red ochre, symbol of life. And finally, the robes. Finest linen, embroidered with the royal uraeus.
The rearing cobra. Divine authority. But the text says it offers no comfort.
And that's the key thing you pick up on earlier, isn't it? How everything elevates you, makes you divine, but also binds you.
It's a transformation. But the symbols themselves carry these burdens. The coal is protection from rivals. The cobra is authority, but also inherent danger.
It's a constant reminder of the peril, wrapped up in the divinity. Every step asserts your right, but whispers the risk.
A paradox.
A complete paradox. And then the climax. The great crown, gold, semi-precious stones gleaming. The high priest lifts it. You, great royal wife of the two lands.
And it settles on your head, surprising weight. You resist the urge to shift.
Doors swing open, trumpet sound, blinding sun cheering, flower petals. The whole scene.
But inside, your mind's already elsewhere. That's what the source says is so telling.
You smile, you wave, you do what you're trained to do, but you're thinking.
Thinking about the stories, the whispers at court, queens who commanded armies, ruled.
And those who are poisoned, betrayed, erased like they never existed.
It connects right back to that core dilemma, doesn't it? For all the silks and perfumes, you're walking a knife's edge.
Exactly. Too visible, jealousy, too passive, replacement. It's a constant balancing act.
The aha moment there is realizing the crown isn't really a reward, it's a challenge.
An invitation to perform.
Yeah.
Constantly. High-stakes political theater.
Yeah. The source mentions Nefertari, beloved of Ramesses the Great, serene face in her tomb. But her life, bitter rivalry.
And Nefertiti. Her fate still debated. Did she rule? Was she cast aside? An enigma.
And Hatshepsut took the full titles of pharaoh. Incredible. Only to have her stepson chisel her name off everything later. Furious retribution.
These stories, these precedents, they're a constant backdrop for the new queen.
Yep.
A reminder.
Such is the double-edged sword of queenship. The crown isn't just heavy, it's sharp. Okay, so she's crowned, she's in. Now the real navigation starts. Palace life. The constant performance.
Right. You're presented to the court, standing with Pharaoh himself. A living god, gold and lapis.
His grip is warm, firm, the source says, but his smile, unreadable.
You're receiving the acclamation of the court, but beneath all that splendor, another truth hits home.
Your life is no longer your own, from this day forward.
So what does this gilded cage actually involve day to day?
Well, the vigilance really ramps up here. Her days start with ritual washing, right? Nile water, anointed again, reborn each sunrise, symbolically.
Then presiding over festivals, offerings, her image paraded around like a living Isis.
Dining in those halls with gilded reliefs, where every glance from a courtier has to be weighed. What does it mean?
Attending councils, measuring every word, too forceful, grasping, too meek, you get dismissed.
It sounds utterly exhausting, a constant performance.
It must have been. The source emphasizes, a queen must never appear fatigued, no matter the burden, no matter the sleepless night listening for footsteps in the corridor.
Like living on a permanent stage, critics always watching.
That's a great way to put it. And on that stage, one of the biggest threats is the harem.
Ah, yes. The source calls it a gilded prison. Royal wives, concubines, all jostling for influence. Their children, pawns in a game older than the pyramids.
Here, poison is a language, fluent as gossip, favors won by alliances, not smiles.
How does she even navigate that? It sounds incredibly dangerous.
Well, the fascinating thing is, the harem isn't just, a place of pleasure. It's a political engine, complex.
Alliances forged in secret, loyalty shifting like sand.
Exactly. The wise queen learns fast. Cultivate friends, cultivate informants, but trust neither, fully.
The source uses Nefertari again here, doesn't it? Ramesses the Great's beloved queen.
Yeah, even she, with all her status, faced that endless rivalry with Isetnaf, a secondary wife.
Whose son eventually inherited the throne.
Right. Their competition wasn't just for the king's eye. It was about Egypt's future. It even led to speculation maybe Isetnaf vandalized Nefertari's tomb.
Chilling. To think it could extend beyond death. The aha here is definitely that the harem is a battlefield, not a bedroom.
Absolutely. So maintaining influence requires that constant vigilance we talked about.
Like her morning ritual, elaborate, coal, malachite green, not just beauty, but protection, shielding her eyes from sun and watchful rivals.
Lips tinted, cheeks rouged, hair coiled intricately, maybe with imported strands.
It sounds ceremonial, but what's the underlying purpose?
It's all about crafting an image. Serenity, graciousness, divine detachment, untouched by mortal worries.
But beneath that polished surface, her mind can't rest.
Never. The palace itself a maze, columned halls, courtyards, hidden currents of power, intrigue. She has to be constantly aware.
Even a chief advisor's smile. Deferential. Or a warning.
She's constantly asking herself that, the source implies. Was that respect? Or a threat? You always have to wonder.
It's this unspoken game. Gestures, glances, falter, and you invite whispers. Stumble, and you risk everything.
Beyond these private rituals, she's also sometimes summoned to the Queen's council chamber. A rare privilege.
Hearing reports, granaries, textile workshops, temple construction, sounds maybe a bit dry.
But each one is a thread in the tapestry of power, right? And her decisions, even seemingly minor ones, build her power base, her long-term security.
The source gives that great example. News from the workers' village near Deir el-Medina. Illness affecting tomb construction.
Not just charity, you're saying. It's strategic. A wise investment. Her tomb is her insurance against oblivion, her eternal home. Looking after the workers solidifies loyalty, keeps the work going, protects her legacy.
It shows real strategic thinking. Using patronage, effective.
Even at dinner, the game continues. She needs sparingly expected, never greedy.
Sips her barley beer. Then a trusted handmaiden whispers. New consort, beautiful from the northern provinces. Caught the king's eye.
And the queen's smile. Polished as alabaster, the source says. But already, she's planning her next move.
That image of quiet, relentless calculation is powerful.
Because the game never stops. A new favorite. That shifts the balance. She can't show alarm outwardly.
But inside, analyzing the threat, potential alliances, how to neutralize this without looking weak or aggressive.
Her survival depends on seeing the next move on the palace chessboard.
Okay, let's shift to maybe the most critical duty. Securing an heir.
Yes. The ultimate duty. For all the titles, all the honors, this is where her real power rests.
A male child secures the dynasty, cements her place, ensures her future.
But the source is clear. Childbirth is dangerous. Many royal wives died pursuing this very duty.
It describes it as this constant weight, expectation. Whispers start if there's no conception. Court astrologers scrutinizing stars, trying to coax a royal conception from the heavens.
It really highlights that blend of mortal and divine in Egyptian belief, doesn't it? Even procreation is wrapped in ritual superstition.
The big aha here seems to be that her ultimate value lies in her womb.
Sad but true in that context. Not beauty, not wisdom, not even the king's favor ultimately. It's about producing that heir. The pressure must have been immense, relentless.
And to make it happen, elaborate rituals, remedies, the source outlines them.
Bathing in sacred waters, lotus, lapis infused, drawn at dawn, of course.
Priests chanting incantations over her clothes, her bed, her breath even.
Amulets strung beneath her shift. Eye of Horus against miscarriage. Ankh for life. Hecate, the frog goddess, midwife of the gods.
Sounds like they threw everything at it. Spiritual, practical.
And the physician's methods. A curious mix, the source calls it. Empirical wisdom, hopeful guesswork.
Dates and beer and honey. Ground pomegranate.
And the source vividly mentions occasionally pressing a live fish gently against the belly to divine the chances of conception.
Wow. You'd have to keep a straight face through that.
Wouldn't you? It just shows the blend of desperation and fervent belief. Her entire future hinged on this.
The king plays his part too, right? Dutifully appears.
Because their union isn't just private, it's a reenactment of cosmic creation, embodying Isis and Osiris, restoring divine balance.
She tries to think of that, the source says, gazing at the painted stars on the ceiling, willing her body to cooperate.
It adds another layer of pressure, doesn't it? Failure isn't just personal, it's potentially a cosmic imbalance, affecting the whole land.
So when the signs finally appear, Miss Moon, a flutter, the court erupts. Relief, barely concealed.
Musicians play, offerings are made, gifts shower down, statuettes tower at the hippo goddess of childbirth.
But celebration quickly turns to caution. Childbirth, even in the palace, is perilous.
The source puts it grimly. The annals are full of queens who entered the birthing chamber as goddesses and left it not at all.
A stark reminder of mortality, even for the divine.
So she's moved to special apartments.
Whoa.
Near Hathor's temple, patroness of motherhood, midwives attend constantly, weathered faces, experienced but concerned.
Floors strewn with reeds, mats, air thick with incense, offerings to Sobek, the crocodile god, for protective ferocity.
As the source notes, when you're facing death's shadow, You can't be picky about allies. The sheer number of precautions shows the huge risk.
And as months pass, the whole court holds its breath. Her pregnancy is public property.
Every noble, servant, soldier, watching for signs. Progress, danger.
A miscarriage, an immediate blow, maybe irreversible.
History whispers of queens dismissed, names stricken after failed pregnancies. Others may be poisoned by rivals.
Queen Mutnit, wife of Horemheb, her repeated miscarriages shown in reliefs. Then she vanished from court.
It shows the extreme vulnerability tied to this one duty. And even a successful birth isn't the end of the story.
Right. If it's a girl, rejoicing is muted. King's gaze might drift. Younger, more promising consorts.
But if it's a boy, the stakes shoot up, factions realign, daggers are subtly sharpened.
The source mentions Queen Tia's daughter, murdered in infancy. Court intrigue, name forgotten. Chilling.
So a male heir solidifies her position, yes, but also makes her and him a prime target.
When her time comes, the palace goes quiet. Just rhythmic chants from the midwives.
She kneels on birthing bricks, inscribed with protection spells, gripping amulets tightly.
Queens supposedly don't cry out, stoic grace, but the source says those walls heard many screams, just not recorded in the annals.
Then finally, a cry pierces the air, not hers, a newborn boy.
News spreads like wildfire. Bells ring from Karnak. Fires lit on the riverbanks. The dynasty is secured, for now.
But that victory is immediately tempered. This tiny baby, her greatest triumph and her greatest liability.
Royal infants are immune, frailties of flesh.
The child is swaddled, protected with amulets, watched by wet nurses, vetted a dozen times. A single mistake, a drop of poison in milk, triumph becomes mourning. Vigilance is key.
It's an immediate shift, isn't it? Factions realign instantly. She's now the mother of the next king. Powerful, but also a huge target.
The harem buzzes. Lesser wives, whose sons now have less chance, redouble their scheming. The old games resume, but more dangerous.
Her duties start again quickly. Public ceremonies, infant prince in her arms, ostrich feather canopy, statues commissioned, inscriptions proclaiming her mother of the god's son.
Yet in the shadows, rival eyes glitter with envy. For queens in Egypt, there's no real rest.
Having secured her place with an heir, now she has to defend it, just as fiercely.
Cultivating alliances, priests, nobles, ensuring that if disaster strikes, she can protect herself and her son.
In private, she gazes at the sleeping child. Fierce love, yes, but also cold calculation.
Raising a future pharaoh is walking a tightrope. Every tutor, every nursemaid scrutinized, every playmate a potential threat.
Her worth has to be proven again and again. Fade from favor, bear no more children, falter in the courtly dance.
And she risks erasure, the most chilling fate. So as the sun sets, she cradles her son, sings softly. But her eyes watch the shadows. The night is never still. The game is never over.
Let's move on to something really specific to ancient Egypt. I think the complexities of royal marriage and family, that intertwining.
Yes, the source sets the scene well. Imagine the queen in her chamber, looking at a genealogy scroll, tracing these father, mother, grandfather, uncles, aunts, cousins.
And so many of them are tangled up in the dynasty's lineage, aren't they? What drove these, well, unusual unions?
The core belief really was purity. Purity of the royal bloodline trumped everything else, certainly trumped our modern ideas about, propriety or genetics.
So royal marriage was almost always within the family. Sibling, half-sibling, uncle, niece, aunt, nephew.
And it wasn't just tradition. It was seen as a cosmic necessity, a sacred duty.
Justified by the gods themselves, right? Isis and Osiris, sister and brother, husband and wife, they created the divine order.
So imitating them was upholding Mahat, that cosmic balance holding the universe together.
The source also mentions the fortunate coincidence that this kept power and property consolidated, firmly in royal hands.
Yeah, the Ptolemies later made an art form of it, but the source is clear they weren't the innovators here. This was deep-rooted.
But this pursuit of purity, it had a dark side, a hidden cost.
A profound and often tragic one. The royal family tree, as the source says, is a twisted thing. Branches curling back on themselves.
And the starkest example the source gives is Tutankhamun, poor Tutankhamun.
The boy king crowned before his bones had fully hardened. That's how the source puts it.
Modern science shows the consequences, doesn't it? Cleft palate, club foot, fragile bones.
Riddled with genetic maladies, the result of generations of marrying close relatives.
The palace midwives, the source hints, whispered about it. Stillborn infants, twisted limbs, babies dying silently.
And the royal tombs themselves tell that story. Tiny coffins buried beside queens. Tragic echoes of this hidden cost.
It makes you wonder, doesn't it? The queen herself must have thought, what price might my own bloodline pay for this sacred purity?
It's a sobering thought. It casts a long shadow over the divine justification for sure.
The royal wedding itself, though, was a huge public spectacle. Musicians, dancers, incense.
Hands joined. The priest proclaiming, "By this union the house of Horus is strengthened, the land shall flourish."
And the queen smiles, serene gaze, as expected.
But behind that public facade,
Mm-hmm.
the private reality was way more complex. Affection, rivalry, duty, resentment, all mixed together.
In the king's wandering eye, that was just expected, wasn't it?
Pretty much. The source acknowledges that. The bigger danger wasn't necessarily his affections, but the ambitions of his other consorts. Watching this royal union very closely.
A brother's wife might be queen today, but tomorrow, who knows? That precariousness never really goes away.
And the palace remembers stories the official chronicles might gloss over. Cautionary tales.
Like Cleopatra II, married her brother Ptolemy VI, ended in bitter civil war. Sibling bond couldn't withstand the pressure of shared rule, competing ambitions.
The reconciliation, later. Political necessity as much as anything else, shows how fragile even these sacred bonds could be under political strain.
Then there was Arsinoe II, married the king of Thrace first, then her full brother Ptolemy II.
Her intelligence, her political skill unmatched, the source says. But her life was constant navigation of treacherous court intrigue.
Ruthless too, wasn't she? Exiled rivals rewrote inscriptions.
Absolutely. These historical examples, the source suggests, were like blueprints for survival for later queens. How things looked didn't matter, power did.
So it's clear, while the queen played her part, stood beside her husband, presented offerings, she was always watchful.
Always. If a rival consort bears a son, balance shifts instantly. If her own union fails to produce an heir, her position falters.
No guarantees, just the certainty that the dance continues. The scrolls speak of divine union.
But not of her private doubts, or the knowledge that her path was both gilded and incredibly perilous.
Okay, let's shift again to the constant warfare, really. The power play is the game of survival that just defined a queen's life.
Yeah, the source says the palace breathes intrigue and whispers one truth. You are never alone.
As great royal wife, mother of a prince, you're a prized target. Viziers plot, priests whisper. Even your own family sees you as an asset, a prize to be wagered.
Which means survival isn't passive. It's not charm, it's not divine favor alone. It's active, relentless vigilance, and striking first when you see the balance tilt.
The historical examples the source provides are key here, aren't they? Showing the high stakes, the different strategies.
Absolutely. Look at Nefertiti. Some historians think she orchestrated her own rise. Careful alliances with priests, military.
Others whisper darker things, though. Rivals silenced with poisoned honey cakes, dissenters vanishing into the desert.
The truth. The source says it hardly matters. The result is the same. For a time, she held kingly power, expanded her influence way beyond the norm.
Then there's Queen Mutria, mother of Amenhotep III, likely a political marriage. Her influence lasted only as long as she was useful to her son.
And what's fascinating is the contrast the source draws
Yeah.
between foreign princesses, Mitanni, Hittite brides who often came with just dowries and faded away,
Versus those few who seized their chance. Like that Kassite princess who became queen of Babylon. Her letters show she was sharp, active in diplomacy.
It shows that even from a seemingly weak starting position, some queens carved out real power.
And then the most famous, Cleopatra II, a master of this deadly game.
Trained from youth, diplomacy, manipulation, aligned herself with Rome's giant Caesar, Antony, shook empires.
But even she, with all her brilliance, couldn't outrun the forces against her in the end.
The lesson from the source seems pretty clear. No alliance is permanent, no favor eternal, power is fleeting.
So how does a queen actually navigate this? What are her tools?
The source details her crucial network. Spies, trusted handmaidens, eunuchs in the kitchens with ears in every corner, priestesses cultivated with gifts and favors.
Covert intelligence, her first line of defense.
Then meetings with the vizier. Polite message, unavoidable appointment. But threats, masked with courtesies.
Discussing a cousin's marriage isn't just family business, is it?
No, the source calls it a dangerous gambit. Who benefits? Which factions rise or fall? What's the trap hidden in the request?
Because queens are convenient messengers, but even more convenient scapegoats if things go wrong.
Exactly. So countering rivals requires subtlety. The source shows how the queen cultivates the high priestess of Hathor. Generous gifts.
Then subtly suggests maybe a concubine's rising influence is unsettling the cosmic balance. Or rumors of her child's divine favor risk angering the gods.
That's the first move, the source calls it. Sowing discord through spiritual suggestion. Undermining a rival without direct confrontation. Very clever.
And it doesn't stop there, does it? The concubine's allies, minor officials, staff, ambitious courtiers.
They're dealt with systematically. Warned off, quietly removed, reassigned far away, their influence eroded.
It sounds ruthless. Reminds me of Arsinoe the Seckers again. Crushing enemies, exiling rivals, rewriting inscriptions to erase them.
Few mourned those who vanished in her wake, the source notes, because direct action is too noisy, too visible. But there are other ways to wage this war.
Like at that private banquet scene, the concubine is radiant, laughing maybe a touch too loudly.
And the queen meets her gaze. A smile, both gracious and cold, speaks little. Lets the silence do the talking.
And as the evening goes on, you see the shift. Hushed glances, paused conversations. The high priestess's warnings are rippling through the court.
It's a masterclass in subtle psychological pressure.
Her control extends to practical steps too, right? Shipments of fine oils, silks for the concubine, indefinitely delayed.
More palace patrols requested. Visibility discourages reckless ambition after all.
It echoes Hatshepsut, doesn't it? Rising from regent to pharaoh, alliances with priests, grand temples, controlling the narrative through art and inscription.
And the source highlights. Her enemies only dared deface her monuments after her death. Too little, too late. Her legacy was etched too deep by then.
So the queen plots, spies, strikes first. With words, influence, perception.
She can't command armies yet, maybe not wear the false beard, but her weapons are subtler, no less effective.
The game unfolds, relentless. She plays each round with cunning, calculation, knowing.
A queen who just waits for fortune isn't a queen who survives long. That's the real aha. Power wasn't just inherited, it was earned, constantly, defended, meticulously.
And that brings us to the final game, the biggest one maybe, immortality versus erasure.
Yeah, there comes a day, the source says, when even the brightest queen starts looking west more often, towards the setting sun.
For all the crowns, the garlands, the priests' talk of divinity, one truth remains: you are mortal.
And in Egypt, death isn't an end. It's a beginning, but a perilous one. A wise queen prepares well for that final journey.
To avoid oblivion. Or worse, it's a sacred duty. The book of the dead is clear. The unprepared soul faces nothingness or torment.
Your spirit could just cease to exist or suffer endlessly. That's the belief.
So she's older now, maybe some silver in her hair. But she's survived longer than many rivals.
The concubine who schemed, forgotten. The vizier who plotted, sent on a very long pilgrimage he won't return from.
She played the game well. Skill, iron patience. But even the sharpest blade dulls. Even the best player has to leave the board eventually.
So she starts with her tomb, already underway, likely for years, deep in the limestone cliffs, Valley of the Queens.
Air smelling of fresh-cut stone, beeswax, walls blooming with scenes for the duet journey, Raz boats, winged matat, the perilous path through the underworld.
Artisans working meticulously, terrified that one poorly drawn glyph could invite ruin for her and maybe for them too.
It makes you think of Hatshepsut's temple again, Deir el-Bahari, grand colonnades proclaiming her divine birth, rightful rule.
Because such a monument isn't just a tomb, it's a weapon against being forgotten, a physical assertion of power that outlasts life.
Even in death, rivals won't rest. They'll try to tarnish your name, strike it from stone, from memory. The battle for remembrance goes on.
So she plans every inscription carefully. Her titles, Great Royal Wife, Mother of the King, Mistress of the Two Lands, chiseled deep, so they can't be easily erased.
Her image, not just on main walls, but hidden panels, known only to trusted priests. If the outer paintings get defaced, these secret images might survive, preserve her claim to eternity.
Because the belief was so strong, without your name, you wander the afterlife nameless, a shadow among shadows.
The source gives that chilling example, the shattered coffin of a nameless queen. Sarcophagus cracked, face, cartouches scraped away, left to wander forever.
Tombs desecrated, occupants drifting in the void, bones scattered by jackals. It underlines that every object for the journey is a tool, every spell, a shield against ultimate oblivion.
She plans her mortuary cult meticulously, too. Secures priests' loyalty with land, silver, binds their interests to her eternal well-being.
Commissions Stele for Temple's Isis, Hathor, reminding future generations of her piety, her importance.
As the source says, if the royal court forgets you, the common people must not.
Because, supposedly, the prayer of a single farmer could tip the scales when your heart is weighed against Mot's feather.
Her heart. She ensures that is protected. orders the finest heart scarab crafted. With that clear, forceful spell inscribed, "Do not stand against me at the weighing of the heart."
She's leaving nothing to chance. Every element is a strategic move in this final crucial game.
And as the years pass, she sees the truth of Egypt's oldest wisdom: the living wage war on the dead.
Here's of rival queens' tombs ransacked, priests bribed to neglect cults, names erased from king lists.
So she takes countermeasures. Duplicate inscriptions hidden in remote sanctuaries. Loyal family members told where secret caches of wealth are hidden to fund the cult long-term.
It's stark, isn't it? Even in death, the game doesn't end. Hatshepsut's name hammered off monuments by Thutmose III. Historical revisionism.
Nefertiti's fate still an enigma. Was her tomb deliberately hidden to prevent exactly this kind of desecration?
The queen plans layer upon layer of protection. Remembrance. A net of spells, offerings, inscriptions, hidden truths, trying to anchor her spirit in the world beyond.
The soul that is forgotten ceases to exist. The name not spoken fades away.
Then the moment comes. Her breath falters. The queen is dead.
But in Egypt, death is a doorway, yes, but not a simple one. Beyond it lies that winding path. Darkness, starlight, dangers, hopes.
Whether you reach the field of reeds, perfect harvests, unbroken joy, or fade into black, lost among the restless dead, it depends on more than piety or preparation.
It depends on memory, whether your name, your image, your story endures.
You prepared for this. Wove your legacy into stone, gold, papyrus, whispered songs of temple choirs. But the final game, played by those left behind.
The first year, the mortuary cult works. Incense burns, songs are sung. But memory, it's fragile.
Second year, a new, great royal wife in the palace, her charms praised, her likeness commissioned, your name spoken less often.
You feel the tremors. Erasure, rivals whispering to the king, why waste offerings on one so long gone?
A subtle shift here, a missed offering there. Priests grow tardy, a scribe fails to copy your name. You see it happening and can do nothing. Just hope the seeds you planted take root.
It's a terrifying, passive kind of battle.
Yet, Egypt, the past lingers. Under every stone, names thought lost, found again. A cartouche under sand, a hymn fragment in a trembling scroll.
And the archaeologists of this new age, strange priests in foreign garb, the source calls them, uncovering works of queens long vanished.
Brushing away dust, reading ancient words aloud, and in that moment, the old magic stirs. Your voice might yet be heard.
It's the strange afterlife, isn't it? A dance between fading and remembrance.
Some queens, like Mutnet, weren't lucky. Tombs stripped, bodies moldering, names almost lost.
But others, Nefertari, Hatshepsut, defied erosion. Their beauty, grandeur endure in the monuments they built.
It recalls that ancient proverb, a man is not dead so long as his name is spoken. A truth deeper than the Nile.
So as the modern age dawns, these new scribes pore over ancient texts. A flicker of hope remains.
Your cartouche in a scholarly book. A replica of your necklace in a museum. A visitor gazing at your likeness, speaking your name imperfectly, but with wonder.
For that moment, you live again.
The true power of a queen, the ultimate aha, maybe isn't just ruling in life. It's commanding the very idea of eternal remembrance.
You understand now what the priests maybe didn't fully grasp. Immortality isn't just offerings and spells, it's memory, it's story.
Queens who transcended time grasped this, shaped their legacies with words, images, powerful enough to echo across ages.
You prepared well, you fought long. Whether you endure or fade, rests in hands beyond your reach now.
But as long as Egypt endures, as long as curious minds seek those whispers of the past, there's hope.
So in this twilight realm, between living and dead, you wait. Not for rest, for remembrance.
For you are a queen of Egypt, you will not be forgotten lightly.
And should your name be spoken once more, beneath the vaults of the stars, you will smile, and walk again among the reeds of the eternal fields.
And if we connect all that back, it just shows, doesn't it? Even at the absolute apex of power, it's this complex web, expectation, vigilance, that universal struggle for influence, the fragility of power. It really transcends time.
That human desire for legacy, it's such a powerful, persistent force, isn't it? No matter the era.
Absolutely. You've seen how she prepares for death, but definitely not for rest. Knowing the afterlife is just another battlefield, maybe even fiercer than the court she left. So what stands out to you about a life lived that intensely, where survival meant mastering not just the living, but the very idea of being remembered forever?